Hey guys, I am back, and sorry, still on the road to being good and healthy. Feeling a lot better. Feeling a lot better. Not quite there, but I'm getting there. But anyway, I really appreciate, this was not planned, but I really appreciate all of you who took the time to just throw a get well soon or pull in for you or all that stuff. It really means a lot to me. You guys are absolutely awesome. And I mean that every time I say it. So, it is not quite the end of the year, but, I feel a lot of those questions. What is the best this? What is your favorite that? And with knives, sometimes it's a really hard question to answer. And I often say, well, you gotta give me parameters. Best knife for this, best knife for that. Like, what are you, because there's so many different ways that could go. But when somebody asks me, hey, what is your favorite multi-tool, or what's the best multi-tool, and caveating all, in my opinion, it does change a little bit with given situations, but and a lot of people will still send me these email questions they don't want to ask in front of the rest of the class. I get that. So I'm not going to call anybody out or give anybody's name. But a question was asked, what is your favorite, or what is, in your opinion, the best EDC multi-tool? And that is a specific question that I think I can answer. And it's kind of a good one because it made me think a little bit, but I didn't have to think very hard. As we've seen a lot of multi-tools come and go on this channel, whether it's ones that I've bought, ones I've been issued, stuff that's come in boxes. And I use multi-tools a lot. Working at the shop, traveling around, going camping and all that stuff. And there are some that we've seen that have been very expensive, some that we've seen that have been very inexpensive, some that have been high quality, some that have been, flat out just cheap crap. But one that over the year, this year, 2023, and I know that for a lot of 2023, I have also been kind of down medically. And hopefully that's all going to be better, much better in 2024. But, if I think about the one that I carried to the shop or to work, or just the one that I reached for, even around the house, the most. And when I say around the house, not just fixing stuff, like, I've got stuck bottles of paint working on models, or whatever. I got to fix a door hinge, or pull something out of the shed and it needs adjusting or whatever. The thing that I reach for the most, that I find in my hand the most often, or in a bag or whatever, has been throughout 2023, the Gerber center drive. This is not an inexpensive tool. Now, I first got this thing, I looked back on the channel, I did an unboxing, I bought it, unboxed and did a mini review in 2017, which is going way back. And ironically enough, it was right after I got out of the hospital. And so if you're curious, because I didn't watch the whole video, I just wanted to get a handle on how long I've had it and what it is. So if you want to see if maybe my opinions have changed, because again, I didn't want to watch the old video because I didn't want to put anything in my mind about what I thought when I first got it. I just wanted to see when I got it, how I got it. Put a link here. Where do they go? Here. I don't remember. But I'll put a link. You can click and you can see that it's a short video. You can see my initial thoughts on it, and then you can compare it. I'm also going to say, some people do get a little bit offended when I say, well, I think this is the best or my favorite. Hey, listen, whatever works for you in your hand, that is the best tool. And I'm not putting down any others, because I have a lot and I like a lot. And there are some times where I'll just grab whatever's closest to me. But if I had to think about it and pick one, this is the one I'm picking, and I'm going to explain to you why, what features it has that I really like. They have made an updated version, the Center Drive Plus, which includes a scissors, which, to tell you the truth, I don't use very often in a multi-tool. They are cool, the ones that have big workable scissors, but it's not a deal breaker for me. But the Center Drive is a very reliable tool. I've said throughout the channel, throughout all the years, I'm not a huge fan of Gerber knives, but Gerber knows how to make a multi-tool. They are solid things, and my oldest, most reliable one that I was issued as a young, dumb private first class in 1997 is a Gerber. It's an old Gerber. You guys have seen it on the channel over and over and over. I don't have it on me right. I mean, it's here in this chaotic, cluttered room somewhere. But I love it. I love it to death. But, you know, I think I keep it around more for nostalgia. But the point is, from 1997 to today, it still functions perfectly. I have chipped the knife blade myself like a moron. You know, but it still works. It's still solid. So let's talk about the center drive. And I have kind of a backup one. I have the Leatherman MUT, as maybe we'll talk about it too. But in the unboxing video, I think I did compare it to a number of other ones so we can look at it. Now, like I said, first of all, it is a rather expensive knife, and I can't lie about that. It's listed for somewhere around 130, something like that, you know, MSRP. It does come with a full, I don't have it with me here, I'll show you pictures, a full MOLLE compatible nylon sheath. It comes with a strip of standard 1/4-inch bits that you can use with it, so you get that going for you. Right now on Amazon, I'm looking. So the silver and black is $121.99 Amazon Prime price. The all black version is $134.45, but you can find it cheaper. I found one for $104. I forgot where, but you know, just search for it. That's still, I get it. That's still a hefty price to pay for a multi-tool for some people. I'm of the opinion though, like I said, this thing is a tank and it will last you, and it looks barely used from 2017. There are some marks you can see. You know, there are some marks of having tools opened, and the blade shows a bit of use on it, but like not a whole lot. So it's pretty solid. We'll start with great feature that I love, one-handed opening. I love a multi-tool that's one-handed opening. And so like at its contrast with the Gerber MUT, this has been a really solid tool. And I think I bought this one probably around the same time, maybe a little bit earlier, a year or two earlier, but it is not really a one-handed opening tool. For all the great features it has, it's kind of the standard Leatherman butterfly opening where you really do need two hands. Gerber has a one-handed opening and backed up by a spring assist to help you pop it back up to the ready position. And this also doesn't have that. So now, some people might be like, oh, big deal. When you're out in the field and you're working a problem with this, that really, I mean, that works the tendons in your wrist. It gets your hand tired. Now, if you're just doing one or two quick twists, I get it. It's nothing. But that is a great feature that really saves stress on your hand, like especially if you're working on something and it's going to take a while. And there have been times on deployments, not with these particular ones, but where all we've had to do with, like, you know, fix a GRC 121, and it's a UHF radio set, and you know, all we've had are the tools in our hands, you know, or a PRC 112, or I mean, sorry, it's another radio. But my point is, it's, you know, these field electronics that are not easy to work with out in the field, and like you don't have all the proper tools because you never do, because people lose them all the time, and all you have is like a multi-tool like this. This really does help. So anyway, you've got, you know, the one-handed opening, which I love, and some of them, once you break them in real good, you can just do that. You got the spring-loaded action on it, and what, again, really great for me, it's got a very wide opening set of pliers. Not all of them do. And so, like I said, when I'm trying to open a stuck bottle of paint, being able to get it all the way in there, that's great too. Because I've had some multi-tools where you just can't get it in there. You just can't get it in there. Some guys have had that problem. No, you just can't get what you want to the inside ply, and that's where you get your real grip. This isn't going to give you a grip and stick on things. That's not what the needle nose does. So to be able to get your object inside and get a grip on what you want, that's a big deal. I hate when companies tell you that this is a tool, needle nose pliers and conventional pliers, and they say like that's two whole tools. No, that's bullshit to me. But anyway, you have your needle nose option and you have your conventional pliers for, you know, added grip and torque. You also have these removable carbide wire cutters, which is important because my old issued ones didn't. So as these things wear, and depending on what you're cutting, they will chip, they will dent. You can get new ones and replace them, and they have, if you see, a separate crimping. See the crimping spot there? So these really are very multi tools. It lets you get a very good grip. what is it? There's one with a gear system that actually lets you get a tighter grip than some others. I think it's also a Gerber. No, it's a SOG. It's a SOG, the SOG Power Ply. But this actually does let you get a very good grip. It does not, I'm trying to point it out, the MUT at the end here almost gets like a tweezer-like grip right at the end. This does not, but that's not what a plier is for anyway. But anyway, it lets you get a very good grip. And it's relatively comfortable too, compared to some other ones. It's not loaded with a lot of tools like some other multi-tools are, but it has the basics and they really work. So let's close this back up. You have the knife blade, and the knife blade is, I mean, it is pretty good. It's 420 HC. Now they have an option where you can buy one that I think is S30VN. I think it's this model. If it's not, I'm wrong. But it is a slightly larger blade than other multi-tools have. A larger blade is becoming more standard on multi-tools these days. But you know, 3.25 inch blade, and it's comfortable to hold. And I have seen some that are stupid enough to put the blade on this side, so you're missing out on a lot of cutting ability as your hand hits the ground and you're trying to cut over here. At least this, yeah, you still have a little bit of ground interference, but at least the blade is on the correct side where you're trying to cut. But it's a really nice, you know, modified sheep's foot type blade. It comes out of the package very sharp. I've done minimal work on it, you know, maintenance, but it's a locking blade and it's very easy to unlock. So again, you can operate this with one hand. On the other side, the thing that gives it its name is this extended bit holder, and it also locks. Also very comfortable to use. So like I said, it comes with a series of bits. You can use any 1/4 inch bit you want, and it's magnetic. I really like this because this lets you get into some areas that other bit drivers don't. They just don't. And you know, we'll follow up again. We'll show you on the, come on. First of all, this is kind of a pain in the ass to get out. It's a very secure holding system for your bits. And we're going to point out another problem with the bits on Leatherman specifically. So you've got a much smaller, okay, so these bits that fit in the handle are longer than the normal bits Leatherman gives you. So I mean, that's good, but there are a whole series of bits that you can buy from Leatherman that are much shorter than these. But you're stuck to these flat little bits that are very specific for Leatherman rather than your standard 1/4 inch bits. So you really can't buy anything besides what Leatherman sells. And I'm not shit talking Leatherman. Leatherman also makes some great multi-tools. And I have a few by Leatherman that I really like, but their bit situation has always kind of pissed me off because you have to buy these specific flat bits that fit in their bit holder and they don't work with anything else. I love being able to just buy, like if you have a specialty bit set, and you know what, if you need them, you know what they are, specialty bits, as opposed to just regular. But you can get these bits in all kinds of different, you know, the 1/4 inch, all kinds of different configurations. You can also, if you want to, it doesn't lock this way, but you can hold it at a 90-degree angle for a lot of extra torque while you're turning. And I've used that and it works pretty well. And it's just, there's not a lot of other multi-tools that let you do that. Opening it back up, you have one other ready bit in the holder. And then you have, you know, in the pouch, you have your whole lineup. It comes with the ones that they sell already pre-packaged, or you could replace them, like I said, with any other 1/4 inch bit on the market that you want. So it's pretty cool, and this folds up out of the way, out of sight. On the other side here, we've got some other tools. This is a kind of pry bar, nail puller, and bottle opener. Of course it's got a bottle opener. And everything on this side locks and unlocks with this little guy right here, which again, very ergonomic, very easy, no problems. And I really like the way that feels. And what I didn't mention on the other time we were looking at the knife blade, by the way, when you have the knife blade out, this actually holds your thumb really well, like a thumb rest, and it's very comfortable, comparable to some other multi-tools. So, so we also have, come on out. Now this is not so much an awl as it is a scraper tool. You could use it as an awl, but it's more like for scraping. But it also functions as a punch for whatever you need. It has a serrated blade, a whole separate serrated blade. Thank God. So we have a regular fine edge blade and a serrated blade for whatever you might need it for. And then you have a two-sided file with a coarse and a fine side if you should need that for anything. And the edges are good for, you know, notching. I mean, I'd rather notch with the blade, but you have that there if you need it for whatever. And then this serves as a loop for attaching, you know, whatevs. The other thing is, and I'm not recommending this, but instead of being riveted shut like some are, and the Leatherman MUT, by the way, is not also, you can see, this is a great example. Do you see how they have those little posts on the inside of the screws there? That would be what you need, like a specialty bit to take apart. They make bits with the holes inside. That's what I'm talking about with the specialty bit. Sometimes you need not the standard. You need something that fits in those special things. But you can use a tool to disassemble this, clean it fully, as opposed to some that are just riveted together. So it's just a shade over 9 ounces, which, again, multi-tool wise, not that heavy. Anyway, this is, you know, the 2023 edition of my best multi-tool, my favorite multi-tool, my EDC go-to for multi-tools. It is a little bit expensive. It's less expensive than some, more expensive than others, but it's made in the USA, and it is a solid piece of tool. It doesn't give you, like, there are a lot of things that just give you more options than you really need, tools that you might not use. Now, I love the MUT. I've carried the MUT for a few years also. I bought this in probably 2015 when this is the small size that I was talking about of the Leatherman bits. This is what most Leatherman bits are like. And in their little bit sets, you get these things, which are just ridiculous. Most Leatherman bits are this long, and you can't get them in anywhere. So I bought this in 2015 when I was still active duty. And the whole thing about this is that you have a multi-tool with a lot of the same tools, but the Leatherman MUT is really focused for those who work with M4s, M16s, AR-15s. It's an armorer's tool, and it has a lot of different tools for working with that particular rifle. They make an EOD version too with tools specific to explosive ordnance disposal type stuff, but this also has a little hammer, has a line cutter on it. This is a brass scraper for scraping carbon off certain parts of your rifle. This, I mean, these are all just these. You can screw in a rifle cleaning rod over there. A lot of this is just designed to function with, you know, military functionality in mind, but that doesn't mean it can't be used by anybody, because it does have, you know, a lot of the same functions. It's got the replaceable carbide cutters. It's got the dual needle nose regular pliers. It has regular blade. It has a saw rather than a serrated blade. They're just different methodologies, you know, of design. This is a much more military centric one. It's not very EDC unless your EDC is in your range bag. But I brought it as comparison because I see this is a very popular multi-tool as well. But this is, you know, to answer the question, this guy, the Gerber center drive, is my go-to EDC friendly, gets most of the jobs done most of the time multi-tool. And while it is a bit of money to spend, I think it's well worth it. And Honestly, I believe the Gerber multi-tools will last you forever if you just are a little friendly to them and keep them clean and give them a little drop of oil now and then, and just a littlest bit of maintenance. So you guys will hear me bitch and moan about Gerber knives being overpriced and not the best all the time. But you will also hear me sing the praises of Gerber multi-tools because that's something they make really, really well. So that is the question that was posed, and I thought it might be worth doing a video because it might be something that other people might have an interest in hearing or knowing or just seeing. So what do you guys think? What is your go-to EDC multi-tool? What is the tool that gets most of the jobs done for you most of the times? Like I said, the correct answer is whatever works best in your hand. That's what it is. Could be a $5.99 special you bought off a Wish if it gets the job done for you. It could be the most expensive one in the world made of Fabergé eggs and bald eagle penis if it gets the job done for you. There is no like right or wrong answer to this question. It's just that's very personal. I was trying to explain that to Ethan the other day. That's what collections are about. It's about finding the right piece for you. So I'd love to hear your opinions on this. Agree, disagree, or maybe it starts somebody down the road thinking and trying to crystallize that thought in their own head and figure it out. So remember, I get questions all the time on either of the emails, the DocP96 or the QuestionsForDocP@gmail.com. Most of the time, you guys don't even hear about them. I just like to have little conversations back and forth. It's usually just real quick. Somebody asks a question, and I can shoot them off, fire back one answer, and very often it's a very polite, "Hey, thanks, that's really cool," and I appreciate that. Sometimes, it's just me answering the question, and that's fine too, because that's what the emails are there for. But never hesitate to use those emails if you have a question, because I do respond to everybody. So remember, guys, I appreciate you spending all the time you do watching these videos. I'd appreciate it if you're not subscribed, if you do, and you could hit the thumbs up and turn all your notifications on. YouTube knows that you're enjoying this stuff, and tell all your friends to come watch with us. We can have a good old time. You guys are all absolutely awesome, and I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll be back again real soon.